Hello, hi there, lovely Pisces. I do hope that you're all well, and thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Bella, and how I work is I work with the help of my spirit guides. So I'm a psychic, so the energy and the general overview I get is given through them through me. So if you'd like to know more about that and me and my services, or perhaps join me on my Facebook page where I give free daily guidance also there. All the links are just down below. So shall we just crack straight into what it is that my guides want you to know, shall we? Now, I think in comparison to other star signs, you Pisceans seem to not get so much of the retrograde energy, and it's because actually the retrograde that we're in, which is the Mercury Retrograde, which lasts until the 15th, is also the new moon was in Pisces. So you guys are not feeling it perhaps as rough as some other signs have been experiencing it. And I think if anything, it's like niggling disappointments that come through when it comes to your love life in terms of minor disappointments. So please don't get worried about that, because in comparison to other signs, you're having a good time. But do remember, we do have the Mercury retrograde until the 15th, so watch out for things like, poorer communication. But again, it's coming across as slightly minor for you guys in comparison to other people. I do get here when it comes to your love life, the one thing my guides are saying here is, and we all have that inner voice, the one that's in our head, the one that's in our gut, that it is a month for you to be listening to that, basically, because the way you accomplish anything, whether this is love or work or anything, is by listening to that voice. And if it feels good, and the vibration of that feels good, then that's definitely a sign for you to be doing things. And not necessarily, and I say that because of the retrograde energy does build up anxieties, that if you listen to the ego that is much more negative in what it tells you, then you'll let the retrograde energy get to you. But like I said, most Pisceans, mild. I just get here that in the first week there's some good news coming to you. Ironically, I think you might feel a bit disappointed that your partner or person that you're wanting to have a connection with seems a bit jealous, if I'm being honest with you. Seems a bit not as supportive or yay, as you would expect them to. Hence why I say it's a minor thing, but could you allow that to let you worry about their level of care? It feels to me that they've just got some things going on for them in terms of how this energy is playing out for them, depending on their sign, that they're not able to engage as much as you would like them to. So just bear that also in mind. But great success for you that is outside of your relationship. The good thing is it kind of makes you feel like you're in equal footing in the relationship. So I feel like this change feels like a personal development or a award, or even for a lot of you like job and career, that perhaps you have been relying on the other person if you're in a connection to be supportive, or if you're single, that actually this enables you to actually date more, to meet people that to improve that more. So dating is expensive, having to go out and eat and drink and all that kind of stuff to kind of get to know somebody costs money, which the fact that you have this kind of ability to do that is also the case. My guides also want to say that at the beginning of the month, if you are a Piscean, it feels like you may feel like you've got some success with dating somebody that feels compatible. But the one thing I would say here is, don't get your hopes up too high until after the 15th of April, because those that we meet in a retrograde, if there's the first time we're meeting them, tend not to last. It can be an illusion. That being said, my guides really, really want to focus on relationships, like people who are coupled up, people who have an existing relationship. I'm not getting here in the retrograde energy for most Pisceans. I'm not getting exes returning in this time or this month. Also, there's a real focus on those who have a connection. So sorry about that, but sometimes my guides really want to focus on one thing because perhaps the energy for those signs is playing out a bit more prominently than those having other connections. In the second week, because of the difference in you and you feel a bit more confidence because you're good news, I just get here that the balance is better between you and another person. So apart from that first week when they don't seem to be supportive because they've got their own hang-ups or other stuff they're dealing with, that's it. Second week, it's far better. Far better. There's equalness. There's the balance is really good. They give to you, you give to them. The yin and the yang. It's just lovely. It really, really is lovely. In fact, probably your guys so far this month, it may even be the only one, has the most positive read so positive that I'm struggling to see anything for you to worry about. I get here because of that dynamic of the balance being better. So there's, sometimes in relationships it can go off tilt, and it's all right if it tilts off a little bit, but if it goes way off, then there's a real problem. It becomes toxic. But you guys are in this. I'm getting here again. The other person thinking about marriage also, doesn't matter if they're male or female, because of them understanding and seeing that balance between them. I get here that they see you as their equal. I get here you are the same. That's actually heavily coming about. So I wouldn't be surprised for some of you whether there is discussions, not necessarily proposals, but discussions about moving in or marriage or even babies that also seem to happen in this month because of the compatibility. Like, again, so different from everybody else's readings that I've been given so far today. Trust your intuition, my guides are saying here. If it feels right, or it feels like your steps are, like, that's a real important thing, and I don't quite understand why. And maybe as you guys go through this month, you'll understand why it was important to kind of, if your intuition is, say, go right instead of go left, and you go right, and then it's because you avoided something by going right that was actually really good for you, you really do need to listen to that inner voice. If your inner voice is saying to you, actually, I am in a good relationship, just because I'm hearing from other people that they're not necessarily in a good relationship, they're not. And even though I've just said, if you're expecting somebody to return and I don't see it in this month, doesn't mean that you can't trust your inner voice about that return happening. It's just not this month. Do you understand? So that's another theme that's also coming out. Third week, again, there seems to be, it seems the things flip around. I don't know about this whole first week. You know, when I said to you, you had this first week and then you had this positive thing, the other person was feeling maybe a little bit jealous, then there's a bit of balance. It feels a little bit to me that there may be a little bit of competitive energy between you and the person that you're with, because it feels that they then in the third week had the success. And the danger is, because they wasn't so, woohoo with yours, that you might do the same to them. But you know what? It's minor stuff. It doesn't seem to break you up or anything like that. So, I'm telling you this because you don't need to be that way necessarily. It's not necessarily a good vibration. It's a low vibration to be. But I do get that some of you are like, well, I'm not making a big deal out of it because you didn't make a big deal out of my thing. And then as you get to the last week, I just see here that this person wants to put you on a pedestal. I get here your spring as you walk into it, and I wouldn't be surprised. This is for those who are in a connection that is official. Boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. You're probably going to have a really good few months, really, if I'm being honest with you. But overall, there's a lot coming up about weddings. So if you are not married yet, it is heading that way. There's nothing about this reading for all Pisces that is coming up as negative at all. And for those that are in a connection, there's such minor ones that I don't know why you're here. quite honestly, because it feels like everything is tickety-boo. Hence why I think I'll end it there. Sometimes, don't go searching for problems when actually there isn't any. Trust your inner voice and not that ego or the anxiety that's in this Mercury retrograde energy to think that there's anything bad that could possibly happen. I'm telling you now, no. But remember, careful what you think about, because the more that you perhaps don't believe that and you're seeking for problems, then problems will come. But I'm being honest with you, I think you Pisceans would find it incredibly hard with the person that you're with. Again, if you're single, dating probably is better the second half for you guys. And if you're waiting for somebody to return, not this month. Not this month. But that's okay. Trust your inner guidance and your inner voice, because it will always steer you right. So I super hope that's helped you. And perhaps you want to look beyond this month. If you do, then you can have a private reading with me. The links are just down below, and that my readings start as little as $4.99. And I will see you next month when, maybe something else for you to comes across that's a bit more challenging. But for now, I have to say, Pisceans, it's a lovely read. Enjoy this month. Take care.